Of freedom all over the nations of the world, wherever you are found this morning, this afternoon, this evening, or this night. I welcome you to this special broadcast. I'm delighted to talk to you from this end. It's a special day. It's a weekend. Today is the 13th of August 2022. And I want to welcome every one of you, wherever you are right now, to this special broadcast on Biafra liberation, talking about Biafra liberation on Biafra Global Network. My name is Kelechi Ambrose, and I want to say again one more time, I welcome you to this special broadcast. The reason why it's a special broadcast because one, I'll be talking to you about some critical things you need to know, and at the same time, we're going to be analyzing some situations and updates on the issues of our liberation fight. And it is important also to note that the critical things that are happening in this period are critical for us to understand and to be able to read the times. You know, something that Jesus said, he said, when you see some signs, you know that the kingdom is close. And that is the same way when it comes to the kingdom of Biafra and the things that are, to manifest, our freedom manifesting. There are some things you will see and they become a pointer and a sign to you to know that our freedom is close and we are already, at the point of liberation. First of all, I want to say to you, wherever you are, be strong, be watchful, and be prayerful. These are the 3 points that are necessary for people who are about to get into their freedom: watchfulness, prayerfulness, and then strength. And that is what I want to tell you today, because the things that are ahead of us are very enormous, and the things that are ahead of us are going to be challenging. The first thing that happened to us as soon as it was ready for us to get into our freedom, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu first launched ESN, the first thing that happened was that he was tactically trailed and he was kidnapped by few and some people within the house. And you don't need a prophet or a priest or any prophecy to let you know those who are behind the kidnap of our leader. It is obvious. We can tell what happened and the people behind it. One, it is a great sign, because if a leader of such kind of a huge system, is a movement like IPOB, leader of over 70 million people, is kidnapped, the first thing that the leadership does, the people he leaves behind or he left behind, are to do is to first of all probe into the reason and what is the cause of his kidnap. But of course, obviously, what we see is that those who call themselves leaders, who have been expunged and who have been expelled from the system by the vote of Biafrans, they tell you that it is not time to talk about probing. It's not time to look at what happened to a leader. How can you talk about a leader of a nation and you are not looking at the critical thing as important as who kidnapped him, so that you can get rid of, in case it's an in-house and orchestrated move, you get rid of the people involved so that they don't keep corrupting what you are doing. Because definitely you know that before, as an intelligent being, as someone who is intelligent anyways, you don't need a prophet to tell you that his kidnap was sponsored by external forces using internal forces. There's no way you can kidnap a leader of a movement like this without the help of people within. And you that has been left to run the affairs as our leader was kidnapped. As soon as he was kidnapped, the first thing you're supposed to do is to look forward or to begin to tackle the issue of why he was kidnapped and who are those people involved. That will help you to arrest the situation within, because you know the enemy is within. So to get rid of the enemy within, and then to go on, you need to begin to look at within first. That's the first thing to do, to clean the house. My brother Kelvin, thank you. Good morning too from here. I can see you from here. Thank you so much for being part of this. Yes, as I was saying, the first thing that reasonable people will do when their leader is kidnapped, especially somebody who is as important as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the first thing they are supposed to do is to first approach the issue of the betrayal, the betrayal and the kidnap. Very, very important, because you know why? If somebody as important as a leader is kidnapped, first you know that it is being sponsored by external forces, through the help of the people within. So if the people within who helped to get him kidnapped are still within, it simply means that there is grave danger for that body. That means what you are supposed to first do is to probe the reason why this person was kidnapped, probe the reason why the leader was kidnapped, so that you can arrest the situation from within and not worsen the matters, and then begin to fight hard to make sure you get him freed and released. But what we saw was that as soon as he was kidnapped, and they started their jingoistic approach, and suddenly they said they are not going to go into probing why he was kidnapped. Why would you not go into probing why your leader was kidnapped? It is a grave sign that you are part of those who created the situation and those who got him kidnapped. Because if you are not part of it, then you are not going to be talking about him being kidnapped. Now, the issue of the reason why we have come this moment, anyways, is not to discuss that, but I just want to lay the foundation. But first, I want you to understand that the most critical time, and most critical test period and challenging period for every movement is when the leader is away. When you want to know the strength of a movement, or the strength of an ideology, or the strength of a people, of a group of people, of an organization, you will know the strength of that organization when the leader is not present. The most critical time in an organization, or in a movement, or in a system, is that period that the leader is not around. And so if you want to know how strong, how formidable a system, a structure, an organization is, then you have to wait for the time the leaders, or those who are involved, or those who are in charge of it, are not around. And that is what we are rightly positioning at this time. The most important period for IPOB now is this time that the leader is not around. That is the most important time. Why is it the most important time? First, when leader is not around, it gives you the leverage to do what is in your heart, because that is when we can know what you actually have in mind. When the leader is available or is present, what people do is that they pretend. In fact, the pretext is so much and that it's so covered that you may not know the details of the behavior of the people and the actions that people are taking. But when you begin to see the real actions of people, it will be in the time when the leaders are not around. Let's look at the story of what Jesus said about the leader who gave out talents, to people. He gave one 5 talents, he gave another 2 talents, he gave one 1 talent, and he said, I'm going to a journey and I want you to take care of this. Now, this is synonymous to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has gone for a journey, and he's going to be back, and of course he has given the talents. He has given the talents. The talents we approach here now is that, one, there is a structure called the DOS, which is existent, of course. And of course, there is another one that is Mazi Simon Ekpa, who is also standing on his own, who also was in line with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's operations and actions. And of course, and then we have these two standing strong, and then we have the people. Now, the people are at the receiving end, which are the 3 points of the leader's approach. Now, the reason why a leader gives talent, or the leader instructs management for a particular cause, is because the people, or the masses, must be attended to very well, and the movement must go on carrying the masses along. And so when you see a management team in an organization, they are there to design concepts and programs that will keep the people engaged, that will make the market accessible and also desirable by the people, so that the people can actually give their attention and give their time to it. And so what they do is what the management does is that they institute policies, they institute rules and designs and innovative approach to the company or to the business, so that the people will begin to understand and get a better view of their products, and the people will begin to embrace their products more. So when a business person designs a platform and starts a business, the first thing he does is that he institutes the management, so that the management will begin to, with their skills and with their abilities, begin to design concepts and abilities, or approach that will help the consumers to see their product as superior, and so begin to patronize them. So that is what happens in every organization. So when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was here, what he did was he instituted the DOS. Yes, the DOS is supposed to be a structure that is instituted to carry out the managerial display and activities of the mandate. My brother Stanley, thank you so much. Welcome. Good to have you here. It's surprising to see you here anyways. Thank you very much. I greet you this morning. We are here on the mission of our freedom, and that is what we are critically doing right now. Now, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did that, the first thing he did was to set the management, which is the DOS. Now, also, of course, every management have a secret plan, or every owner of a business has a secret plan, which becomes what they know critically that will help them, to achieve success, so that not everybody in that company knows about that secret. Because the ultimate secret of any company or business is in the heart of the institutor of that business, or the person who sets that business. That is why Mazi Simon Ekpa becomes very critical here. So when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was saying that people should listen to him, he's bringing another dimension. That means there is something that Mazi Mazi Ekpa is doing that actually clicks with that secret expectation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So which means that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was actually endorsing him because he sees him as a very critical agent to this thing. Now, how do we know this? Now, of course, I have told you before that whenever you see anybody who has instituted a very valuable thing outside there and they are in trouble, the actions they take at that point of being in trouble becomes the most important thing that is in their heart for that thing that they want to achieve. As soon as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinarily renditioned and brought into Nigeria, the first thing that he did was to talk to two sets of people. First, he instituted and demanded that the DOS, which is already a structure, of course, he gave them a talent. What was the talent? He gave them the instruction. That is the talent. He gave them instruction to now allow Mazi Ekpa to take his place in that, or not to take his place anyways, but to stand in his place, on Radio Biafra. And so that now made him very, very critically positioned as one who is going to carry out the affairs of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu until he's back. Now, of course, what we saw is that it's just like what I'm trying to analyze here using the Bible. The man who gave 5 talents, gave 3 talents, gave 2 talents. Sorry, gave 5 talents, gave 2 talents to one, gave 5 talents to another, gave 1 talent to the other. Now, what happened when he left, when that man left? The one who had 1 talent did something. He thought now that the talent that was given to him was a stolen resource, or proves that the leader, or the man, the owner of the business, or his boss, or his oga is a criminal. And so what he did was this: he hid the talent. Now, one thing that was in his mind when he hid the talent was that he felt that hiding the talent will actually demoralize or destroy his oga, because he felt that the strength and the secret of his oga must be in talent. So by so doing, by hiding it, he will be able to destroy that. Now, let's look at it in critical terms now, in light of what we are doing. Now, the truth about it is that the talent here represents the order given by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to the DOS, and the order given to Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa was supposed to take, was supposed to go on with the running and the speaking of course, broadcasting on Radio Biafra, but he was not given that platform. And so the DOS disobeyed because they felt that the talent, or the direction given to them, is actually the strength that can destroy Mazi Nnamdi Kanu after they have sold him. And so they can use it also as a means of destroying him. But one thing you should understand, that you cannot destroy something that has become greatly embedded in the hearts of the people. And so, of course, we know all the stories, we know the activities and the actions of the DOS people, and how later the Biafrans now sacked them. But it's important also for us to understand this. There is something called deception when it comes to trying to get people to do your bidding, or trying to get people to be around what you do, or to believe in what you are doing. The people in the DOS have sold out. We know very much. I don't need to go into details on that. If you want to go into details on that, definitely we're going to open it up to the people. But first, I want to, I want to first give this challenge. I want to make it open for those of you who know the agents in the DOS and all their leaders and all of that. I want to let you know, Stanley, you said, is this affiliated with Radio Biafra? Well, Radio Biafra, for now, has been hijacked by some criminal elements who are using it as a means of propagating their evil and destroying. It has become a very unhallowed chamber where they propagate evil and do lots of evil. So for now, Radio Biafra has been suspended in the mainstream of operation, and those who are those who are doing anything on it are criminals. Anybody you see on that platform right now is a criminal. They are not representing the interest of Biafrans. The platform we are using now is Voice of Biafra 97.5. Anywhere you see Voice of Biafra 97.5 is where we're using. And then also any other platform like this, Biafra Global Network, that's where I'm broadcasting from, and other Biafra platforms from the Autopilot IPOB media team. So when you find any broadcast from Radio Biafra, just know that it is actually hijacked, and it is hijacked by the criminals and those who have sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, when you go there, you'll discover that there's nothing in it anymore. They are using it to try to... Now, what they do there now is what I'm trying to talk about, the strategy of deceit, manipulation. One of their agents came the other time and was trying to talk about everybody coming together to work together. Now I want to understand something. It's just that our people, think that whenever they commit crime, when they begin to show double face, or they begin to try to make people believe in what they are doing, and then that means that what they have actually done is that they have already suspended and deleted the memory of the activities from the minds of the people. That means what the people have done initially is forgotten. They feel that when they commit crime today, and next time they come and begin to preach togetherness and coming together, everybody now forgets, that crime, and everybody begins to follow them. Now we know that these criminals in the DOS, those sacked people who have been working against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, working against his dictates and his direction and everything that he is asking of, and everything that he has said should happen. We know that they have committed lots of crime and they are involved in the kidnap of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But the truth about it is that you hear them. I was listening to one of them yesterday. Was it 2 days ago? Yes. He was talking about everybody coming together. Let's fight this. Biafra is ours. Biafra is, we don't have any other thing. We have to, come together and all of that. First, I want to understand how we can come together with criminals. Because the truth about it is that if you have the heart to sell a leader, a strong leader like that, somebody who is open-hearted, somebody who is committed, somebody who is persistent, and somebody who is courageous, somebody who is incorruptible, somebody who has not sold out and who has been strong in the system of restoration. If you have the mind to sell him out, and now you're calling me to come together with you, then something is wrong somewhere. Then I'll be very foolish to be one of those who will join you in that collaboration move that you're making. One of the most evil that anybody could do to themselves, to their destiny, to their lives, to their future, is to find themselves collaborating with the people who want to destroy them. Whenever you find collaboration, just like somebody who is married to a wife or married to a husband, and then you discover that your husband or your wife is plotting your death. In fact, you wake up at a point, you were stabbed at a point by this same wife or husband, and you survived the stabbing, and then you still went back to the same house to sit down to say, this is my wife or this is my husband. Because we are married, we have to stay forever till death do us part, parts and all of that. And so you just feel that I have to stay together. We have to stay together because we've been married. And that means that you are very foolish, because if you are killed, and you go for nothing, and you die stupid. The truth about it is that when you find that you are in a dangerous relationship, the first thing you do is to break that connection and that togetherness, because the safe thing to do for you is to be away from that danger. When you find yourself in danger and you decide when you find out that there's a danger somewhere and you begin to enter into that place, or you decide to go into it, it simply means that you are foolish, because foolishness is the act of not being able to discern and to do the right, to calculate, or to do the right thing, or to carry out right judgment at a particular time. That is an opposite of wisdom. Wisdom demands that you are, able to discern situations and understand the right decision to take at that point in time. But foolishness is opposite of it, which means that you see, it's just like what Solomon was saying in the book of Proverbs. He talked about somebody seeing danger and then danger signs and foolishly still going there. He said the prudent He talks about the prudent, and he talks about the foolish one. Those who are simple. He calls them the simple. The simple see danger and go into it. The prudent sees it and stays away. So when you hear people saying, that yes, thank you, Mr. Stanley. Thank you, and I'm delighted you are getting inspired from this. It's important also because from in our daily lives, these principles also matter, so that we know how to handle things. The one thing you should be able to disconnect from you when it comes to life matters, things that are very important to you, is one fact of being able to disconnect your emotion from when you are supposed to be constructively reasoning. Because one thing about emotion is that it doesn't reason. Emotion goes by feeling. Emotion goes by feeling. So when you have feelings for somebody, for instance, when you find people who get into trouble, sometimes they are directed by their feelings and their emotion. They are not actually directed by their reasoning. Because if you subject your emotion to reasoning, then definitely you can make a right judgment. But when you subject your emotion, to just it alone and walking by emotions, then everything that comes your way will be very important to you. It's just like a man who is feeling like sleeping and having sex. You're just having that emotion, that feeling. You want to have sex, and then you begin to go around looking for anything to have sex with. And then you begin to get into trouble, and that, of course, that tells you that you don't have control. What emotion does, that it makes you lose control. Emotion has a way of making you lose control. Emotion doesn't make you reason along the line of the action you want to take. And so, but the best thing that you can do in anything that you do is to get yourself connected to emotional judgment by reasoning. So that means by when your emotion is strong on you, you subject it to the concept of reasoning, and then the reasoning will help you analyze the actions you want to take, and from there you'll be able to know that what you are supposed to do or what you're about to do may backfire or may be very dangerous to you. So the fact here is that we want to get rid of some things that would make us lose our lives, lose our destiny, and lose our future. Now, these people, let me get back to what I'm talking about. Now, let me streamline it to what I'm talking about. Now, these people in the DOS have recently been calling on Biafrans, trying to manipulate them to feel that we can work together and we can, for the truth and for the fact, and let me lay it clear here, no true Biafran should accept such kind of call. These are people who have killed our strong men. Ikonso was killed by them. Mazen Namdekano was sold out by them. Lots of our men have died. Most of our men have been killed in the battlefield or wherever they are, in their rest room, in where they are resting and all of that. Their location have been exposed to the zoo agents, agents and their security forces, to be killed. These are the people who are killing our people, and the same people who are talking about coming together to work together. So please, I want to tell Biafrans, wherever you are, be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. And wherever you are as a Biafran, please, this part of the video, if you can cut it and send it to all these criminals who were sacked in the DOS, I want you to cut this part. I put a challenge to them. Let us have a debate. I'm going to have my team. They're going to bring the team of their best men, their best thinkers, their best philosophers, their best psychologists, their best writers, and their best, intelligent people. Let them come out. I want to challenge them to a debate. Let's discuss this issue of Biafra restoration, the kidnap of our leader, and then the issue of the general approach to liberation and what it means to get to be in a movement of freedom fighting. I challenge them. I'm going to raise my team of 3 people, and you raise your team of 3 people or 4 people. You can raise your team of 5 people. I'll get only 3 people because I alone can stand your 5 people. But I want to get a team of 3 people or 4 who will join me, and to all the people you want to bring together. I challenge you to a debate, a public debate. Let's talk and let's look at it so that Biafrans will know who is saying the truth and who is not saying the truth. But I know they won't do it, but we have to put the challenge out there to them. Because they claim to be intelligent and they keep dishing out so many things out there, trying to make us feel that they are working, and all of that, and working for the interest of Biafrans. But we're going to prove to them when we have this debate that they are just a bandwagon of criminals and people who are there exploiting the people and exploiting Biafrans. Stanley, you said, the UN has ordered the release of Mazen Namdekano. Yes, we know that the UN working group, it's the working group of the UN, they gave their opinion. It was an opinion, and they said the Nigeria government should release him. But we are not interested in the UN, whatever they are doing. Yes, it is good. It is a good development for that. But if you look at the whole thing, you discover that it is actually a political, and everything is being politicized. So we are not looking at the the UN and all of that and all these people, because when you look at such kind of displays, that you will discover that they should have been able to do all of this a long time ago, but they refused to do it. And if you see the way they are playing it, Mazen Amdekano have been kidnapped for 1 year plus now. Since June, that means 1 year, 2 months. But yet nothing is being said about it. They have not done anything about it. He's a British citizen. The British have not said anything about it. Lots of things have been happening to him. He was kidnapped, not only kidnapped, extraordinarily renditioned into Nigeria. That was a slip of tongue. He was, like that into Nigeria, which is an international crime and all of that. And that crime or that criminal approach has not been said. The UN have not done anything about it. The US president, the people all over the nations of the world are pretending as if they are not seeing it, but we know that we don't need to wait for them. We have decided to take the action. We're going to get him released. He's going to be released, whether they like it or not. The Nigerian government will release him because we are definitely confident of our actions. And of course, we have said it that we are leaving Nigeria between now and 2023, and nothing will stop us. We are determined and we must leave, because freedom is important. It's a universal decision to make. It is accepted all over the nations of the world. So when we're asking for freedom, we're actually serious about it. But that's not what we're going to discuss now, because we've been talking about it and we keep talking about it. We have said it that there is going to be no election in Biafra land. And we're going to see it happen, and we're going to make sure it's enforced all over Biafra land. There will be no election. We'll make sure that we grant, because when you go into election in Nigeria, to vote or do anything, that means you are endorsing the system. You are endorsing the evil. You are endorsing. That means you are approving of Nigeria to continue, because when you put your signature or you put your stamp as a means of through the voting system, you say you are voting. That means you are telling the people that you are part of this. You want this to continue. It's as simple as that. So we know the implication of going into voting. We know the implication of allowing election. The reason why we have struggled all this while and keep struggling, and the people, the United Nations and the bodies of the international community are not taking us seriously, is because even when it comes to vote, we will still come out to vote. Why would you be voting in a system that you don't want? It's as foolish as that. So that is why we're saying there will be no election in Biafra land, because we cannot vote in a system that we have already condemned. We cannot vote in a system that we have already decided, to get away from. You cannot say you don't want to get involved, in a particular. You are not getting involved in a particular decision in a meeting, and you are sitting there to analyze the situation to them, and yet you are saying that you don't want to be part of the decision. How can you stay and analyze a matter, and then you said you don't want to, be part of it, and all of that? And you said, boss, if there will be no election in the land, how would Peter Obi support? Oh my God. Yeah, that's a very important question. We have so many Biafrans who need to know some stuff. That is why we keep broadcasting and trying to enlighten our people. First, you have to understand that Peter Obi is not representing Biafra. Biafra people never sent him to go and vote or to be voted for. He knows that we are talking about Biafra. He knows we are clamoring for freedom. And if he wants us to vote in the realm of bondage, that means we have to remain in Nigeria as bound people, as people who are slaves. And then he wants us to remain as slaves. And then he wants us to, in that realm of being slaves, to vote for him. That means he is selfish. It's as simple as that. Because if we're asking for freedom, your people are asking for freedom. Majority of your people are saying freedom and freedom. And you, as an individual, in the midst of the people, you come out to counter what the people are saying by endorsing, by bringing yourself out to say you want to be voted for in that enclave or in that system that the people are saying that they want freedom from. And then that means you are an enemy of the people. So, in other words, Peter Obi has made himself an enemy of Biafrans, because Biafrans are asking for freedom. He is asking for election and remaining in Nigeria. Madam Maureen, Evangelist Maureen, welcome to this. And yes, you said Peter Obi will not win. Of course, we know he's not going to win, and of course, we know that we are not. Nobody's going to. We're not voting, so we are not. If he likes, he should go to Nigeria, and definitely in Nigeria, he's not going to win because in Nigeria they already know their candidates. They know the people they are going to vote for. So he's not going to be one of those who will be voted for. So he's going to be voted for, but he's not going to be one of those who's going to win because the two people who are the Islamic people, in line with the Abuja Declaration of 1989 and also ratified also better in 1991, in line with that concept, Peter Obi is out of the system. He's out of the scheme. He's just going to be there to try to deceive and manipulate Biafrans. That is why they put him there, because they know, they already have talked. They already know who is going to win. They already know what their plans. And so these are just to make it look like there's a balance, somebody coming from Yoruba land, somebody coming from the north, and somebody coming from the east, so that it will be like there's a balance. And then they'll say, okay, at least he contested, but it's just that he didn't win. And then they will not give him a political position, and then the continuity of the evil going on, and the people are the ones suffering, the people are the ones receiving, the backlash and receiving all of the the consequences. So Peter Obi is just a strategic enemy of the people because he has allowed himself to be positioned as an enemy to destroy the system, to destroy the people, the system and the people, so we are not going to allow that. He's not representing Igbos anyways. He's not representing Biafrans. He's not representing Ijos. He's not representing Ibibio. He's not representing any part of Biafra land. He's just there for his own selfish end. He's a politician. He has been there. Of course, we know that he has committed lots of atrocities against the people, against Biafrans. He has killed a lot of Biafrans. So all this proves that he's actually an enemy of the people. If all that is happening in Biafra land, the killings and everything, he's not even saying anything. But when he hears that a northerner has been killed, or he hears that somebody has died in the north, or they have lost somebody, you will see him come out and on his post, on his Twitter handle, he will tell you, I send my condolence to this and all of that. But people have been killed in Biafra land. The 12 people killed recently, and more of them have been killed even after that. He has not come out to make any public statement. Now, do you call that kind of person a friend? Biafrans should always reason. You see, when we begin to pursue shadows and make ourselves stooges to foolishness, we should be very careful about the things we do, because sometimes we don't reason along the line of the things we do, the actions we take. Sometimes we are too emotional. That is why I talked about emotion and constructive reasoning. Emotion can never take you to the place of achieving anything successful in life, because emotion only directs you to the point of taking actions that are based on feeling. And one thing about feeling is that it is a sensual thing. You just feel it. It doesn't have to do with the repercussion of the feeling. It has to do with the gratification you receive at that point in time, by getting that feeling, and then the thing you do to be gratified by that feeling. But it doesn't give you the consequences of what happens when you allow yourself to get into that realm of feeling and destroying yourself. That is why the sense constructive reasoning in line or juxtaposition with your feelings is very important. So when you are doing anything in life as a Biafran, as an individual, the only way you are proven to be very sensible and to be very wise is not because you had an idea to do a thing. No, ideas don't make you wise, but the application of idea determines if you are wise or you are foolish. So which means that if I have a feeling now maybe to go into one particular business, now the application of that idea is for me to find out, carry out feasibility studies and all of that, and do all the things I need to do and get the knowledge I need to get, and then begin to go into that business in line with knowledge. That is when I'm proven to be wise. But if I hear of a business and I don't make my findings, and all I do is that, they told me that this business is profitable, I just put my money. That is a point of emotional emotional activity. You have taken it at that point of emotional operation and activity, and at that point in time, you have designed yourself to fail. Because at that point in time, with your emotional disposition, your emotional approach to it, and all you need to do, you are just looking at the profit. I'll make money from this. That is what these Nigerian politicians have been doing. They don't consider the feelings of their people like Peter Obi and co. They are not interested in what Biafrans are saying. Have you ever seen him to come to mention and say, Biafrans are saying freedom? Okay, Biafrans, I want to hear from you. Should I go on to contest, and so that we can now begin to look at the freedom thing from the point of view, or should I just go, or do you people think that I should stay away? If he's interested in the people, if he's interested in Biafrans as the claim that he is, he's there for Biafra, so that when he comes, they are going to discuss about Biafra. Now, one thing is this: you know the signs, or you know the action people are going to take by the signs they give to you before they achieve what they want to achieve. If he is seeking the vote of Biafrans, look at it, go to his Twitter handle and look at his statements and his words and everything that he does. You'll discover that everything that he does is that he's not even putting into consideration who and who doesn't vote for him. All he's doing is that he's just promoting himself, and then he's designing it in a way that the people will bring out their monies to be the ones to sponsor what he's doing. If he knows he's going to win, why is he not bringing out the monies that he has stolen and the monies that he has kept in some places where he has invested in his own, the monies he stole from when he was governor, and then he puts them somewhere, say he's investing them, making money out of the people's money, keeping the people's money somewhere and all of that. Why is he not bringing the monies out for the people so because he said it with his mouth. He said that wherever he's going to, he only invests, he doesn't waste, and he believes in investment. So this now, if he thinks that coming out to be voted for is also a kind of investment, that the people, and he wants to liberate the people, it's an investment, because fighting for the liberation of your people is an investment. Thinking of your people being liberated and the good well-being of your people is an investment. So seeking for the presidency, and in line of trying to get the people out of poverty, to invest in the people and all of that, it's an investment. So why does he keep his money somewhere, and if he thinks that this is a good investment, and want the people to begin to contribute? I told us about the other time about one lady called Aisha, one girl from Delta State, who has been constituting nuisance all over the nation, or anytime there's election, she constitutes nuisance to make money, and then when it doesn't favor her anymore, she begins to talk and talk and talk, and then later goes back, and then she doesn't see that freedom is very important. She sees that Nigeria should continue, and of course the people should continue in the fear. How can you live in a country where you cannot travel to one part of the country? Does it make sense? So we are saying now, which is better? We want to have a nation where we know that we are securing our borders from killers, and the killers are not going to come to kill our children, kill our parents, kill our brothers and sisters. We're not going to be afraid of traveling around our nation. We know that, of course, if security is guaranteed, then definitely development will be rapid, and of course very important. And we are looking for a nation where we know that we can keep the evil and the wicked people away, so that we will not be in danger. We are looking for a nation where people will be secure. Now, somebody is telling you that, no, let's forget about the nation that we will be secure. Let's forget about that approach of thinking of being on our own, so that we can be safe. Our children can go to school safe. They can go to school and not have strike. They can, let's forget about that nation where every money we make from our natural resources or from our human resources are used to develop us alone and within us. Let's forget about it. Let's go for the bigger side, where we know that we cannot travel around, where we know that we can be killed, they can come to attack us in our village. Let's go to the place where we know that the monies that they take from us here, what we make here, they take it to their place and send it to Chad, Niger Republic, and send it to their people all over their Fulani nations, wherever they are, Fulanis are, and use it to invest in their place. Let's focus on that one. It is better for us to focus on building and grooming these people, and let them steal our resources, taking our oil, taking everything that belongs to us, and then taking it to where they want to take it. But it's better to you. It is better. Now, which one it makes sense? Now look at this lady. She comes out and she says she wants to raise 1 point something billion for investments to campaign for Peter Obi and all of that. See, there are some things that people do. You just know that these people, one, they are criminals. Two, you know that they don't work for the interest of the people. These are the same Nigerians that they are crying and saying they are in poverty. People are hungry. Over almost 150 million people. Over 150 million people are in their need of help and intervention. I'm talking about to eat 3 times a day it's not possible. Even once, some people cannot eat more than over 100 million people cannot eat once a day. Some people can eat today, they don't know where the next meal is going to come. Some have to go and do petty stealing. Some will have to go around to scavenge and look for things to. Some people go around to kill lizards, kill rats to eat. Some people are suffering. That is why you hear of Lassa fever and all of this stuff. You hear of kind of sicknesses that you begin to wonder, where are these sicknesses coming from? People go to the hospitals. You see that the so-called Nigerians are dying. Go to the villages. People are dying from mysterious sicknesses, and they blame it on demonic attack. They blame it on satanic attack. We talk more on demonic and satanic attack because we have refused to do what we're supposed to do. So most of the mysterious things that happened, that happen around us and within us, we begin to blame it on demonic attack because you don't understand why it happened. But the truth about it is that if my people perish for lack of knowledge, some people eat what they are not supposed to eat. Some people, you just hear that somebody dies off suddenly, just dies off, or somebody just develops one kind of rapid illness and just dies off. You know why? Wickedness is going on. You know, yes. Evangelist, you said, yes, they cannot take our money and come back to kill us. Yes, that is what it's obvious. That's what it is. And it will be foolish for us to think that we have to begin to contribute to give to these people to kill us. Now, the strange thing about this is that is why I said I want to call for a challenge. Let them come, let's debate. I don't want to talk much about these matters. I'll be talking about them as we go on. But I want a real debate so that we can be facing facts at a particular time. We can be analyzing facts. I want people to cut this part and send it to those people, those DOS people, those Chinasa, Chico, Doziem, and all of them. Let them choose their best hands. I want to have a debate with them. I'm just going to have 3 people who are going to join me. I can withstand any number of people they bring. I am telling you, it's not a boast. They bring 10 people to stand me. Let's discuss. Let's have a debate. I alone will debate with those 10 people. But I want to have a team too. So to be that we have a team. Let them bring as many people as they want. Let them come, and then let me have my people. 3 people joining me, and let's go for a debate. Let's now know who is working for the interest of the people. Let's talk about elections. Let's talk about freedom fighting. Let's talk about the interest, and let's talk about the kidnap of our leader. Let's touch these major things. I'm giving them a clue of the things we have to discuss, so that we could be able to know by constructive reasoning. We'll be able to know who is saying the truth and who is not saying the truth. Yes, Evangelist Moran, our people are too blind to see the reality. That is why we keep doing this preaching. That's why, I was just sitting down and I just felt a burden within me. You need to talk to the people because the more I see the post of the people, I go to, especially on Twitter, because most times I'm basically on Twitter. I go and read out posts and read out ideas and read out concepts and read out, it makes me know what is in the hearts of the people. And I begin to wonder, how are people reasoning like this? Is it that our people always forget yesterday by today? And as soon as this moment is gone and things happen, they forget it and they have to go back to the failed reasoning. And it seems that there's a kind of depreciation and there's a kind of appalling destruction to the brains of the people and the minds of the people based on the fact that the suffering and the pain and the situation of the day, aside the Fulani cow meat, has suppressed them to a point where that they find it very hard to really think constructively or to do things right. Is it that our people have become too foolish and yes, I know that there is a psychological side of suffering. Yes, we know that. There's a psychological side of suffering. It has a way of causing you mental, damage and constructive. It distorts your constructive process of reasoning. It also builds a psychological defect, around your ways of operation, your manner of operation, your modus vivendi, your modus operandi, and everything that has to do with your operations. It distorts your constructive reasoning, and it makes you lose concentration and lose value and lose, attention and all of that. Of course, we know all of that, and yes, and that is a basic factor. That is why we always want to come to talk out to our people, because we know that, and when we keep, you shall know the truth, and the truth, will make you free. Now, the process of freedom comes by making. It doesn't come by setting. That's why the Bible says makes you free. It didn't say set you free. The truth shall set you free. No, you shall know the truth, and the truth will make you. Making is a process. It comes stage by stage. That is why daily we come to talk. We talk about it. We talk about our freedom. We tell our people, encourage our people to share the video, share it and spread it so that people can get the information and people can know about it and people can go more about it and people can hear more about it so that they'll be able to, because when the truth keep coming on, just like what the evil people are doing. If you go to the camp of the evil people, the Fulanis, what they do is that they arrest the minds of their young ones from their young age. That is why you can see them giving a child of 2 years, 3 years, AK-47 to hold. What they are doing is this: they are arresting the mind of that person by indoctrination, evil indoctrination, and so they begin to take control, hijack the minds of the people from that age when they were born, and begin to give them that radical mindset. So that is why you see that they can put a knife to somebody's head and cut it, and they are feeling excited. They are saying, they are chanting, they are saying their mantra, they are cutting the neck, and they are not bothered, because it is like joy. In fact, it will be very difficult for them to survive a particular day without them saying that they are cutting somebody's neck. Now, there's so many factors that we need to look at when it comes to this concept of freedom, because there's so many things that are involved. Now, you can imagine that you are living with people who have been indoctrinated to kill you, whose lifestyle is kill. They see you as an enemy. They see your land as theirs. They see what belongs to you as theirs. They believe that you are not supposed to leave. They believe that Allah has given them control of everything that is yours. Now, I want to give an instance. There is this born Indian, novelist, called Rushdie, Salman Rushdie, that was killed, that was stabbed yesterday. He was not killed. Sorry, he's not dead yet. He came on, in New York. In 1981, of course, he got his first novel, that made him popular. And then in 1988, he did a novel, that talks about the Islamic world thought it was, it was a blasphemy to Islam, and all of that. And the then supreme leader of Iran, which Ayatollah, now placed a 3 million bounty on his head as at 1988, that they should kill him. Anybody that kills him will be given 3 million. Now, do you know that bounty, he went into hiding for 10 years, and then before he started showing up, all of that. Do you know that that bounty that they gave on his head was not withdrawn? That statement was not withdrawn by the supreme leader, even after him leaving office. Do you know that this man yesterday, as he stepped on the podium, that amphitheater, in New York, to give an address or to give a lecture, do you know that somebody rushed from behind and started stabbing him and stabbed him to the chest and stabbed. As I'm talking to you right now, he has an injury to the liver. He has serious damages, his nerves and all of that. He was flown immediately. Of course, if he's in the zoo, he would have died anyways. But because, Americans are very prompt and they have a very swift response to health issues, he was flown to the hospital and now he's in the hospital. Stabbed yesterday. This is somebody who committed, let's just say that he committed an offense 30 years ago. That's in 1988. He said something in his book that he wrote. In fact, during that period of premiering that book and launching that book, do you know that the Japanese who was moderating that program was killed? So many people were killed along that line, and that he escaped and he went into hiding for 10 years. Now, they kept that thing in their hearts. From 1988 until now, they still have their men trailing him everywhere. Now, they stabbed him yesterday. Who knows whether he's going to survive it? Because according to his personal aid and all of that, they said he's in a very critical condition. Nobody's talking about what is happening to him now, but they said it's critical. It's a bad one. They said, in fact, I saw the news this morning, they said it's a bad one. Now, you can imagine the kind of mindset these people have. You can imagine somebody, he doesn't care. Now he has been arrested. The person who went to stab him was arrested. Now, he doesn't care what will happen to him after. His mind is that he has done what Allah have told him to do. As long as he has done it, whatever happens to him after that is not important. He's not concerned. These are the kind of radical extremism we have in this set of people. And now you are telling me that the best thing that can happen to us is to have ourselves connected and staying with such kind of people. My God, you must be evil and you must be very, very ignorant. But what we are doing here now is to help you to see the light of what you need to see, because sometimes it's not good to get angry with people who are opposing what we're doing. That's the ideology I have. One of the ideology I have. I believe that we should always educate people and let them see the reason. Because if the human mind, just like the animal mind, has a way of adapting to a system, and if you don't deal with it in that regard, you'll find yourself frustrated and falling out of. And in the end, you don't even restore anything. In the end, you just discover that you didn't even achieve anything because you get angry, react. Most of the things I see on social media, I see on Facebook, I see on WhatsApp, I see on Twitter, I see on Instagram and all of that. Most of the things I see is that we are always reactional. We are reacting to what people are doing. When they do, we abuse them. When they act, we abuse them. When they do, we talk about it. We get angry and all of that, and then we react. But we are not taking time to make people to see the reason why they need to know better, why they need to do better, why they need to act better, why they need to move better, why they need to understand better. We are not taking time to understand that to de-radicalize the mind or to reprogram a mind that has been corrupted, to reprogram a mind that has been corrupted, you have to take time. It takes time. It takes process. It takes effort. It takes energy for you to somebody who have been radicalized by the Islamic world or by any kind of teaching, for you to be able to help that person come out of that that system or that lifestyle or that information, that wrong information that have been passed into them by the actions of evil people. You need to take your time. So that is what I want to encourage Biafrans. When you see people post wrong things, and people, of course, we know that some people know the truth and they have decided to go very wrong. Yes, we know all of that. By the time we see such kind of people, we know how to handle them, But the best way to help our people, the average people on the streets, the average people all around, is to begin to help them to see the light and to understand what they need to know, and to begin to understand what they need to understand by knowing the truth. So it takes time. That is why the truth makes you free and all of that. So now we're talking about this. Now, our freedom is sacrosanct, and we are very, 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 very keen, to our freedom. We definitely are strongly, against anybody who is against our freedom, and that is why we have said that there will be no election in Biafra land. You know, now I want to make you understand something. One important factor you have to know, and that the fighting that you see, and the betrayal that you see, and the actions that you see from the people that you don't even expect against this movement of our freedom, against IPOB, and against the movement of freedom, against Mazi Manepa, who is now officially, and who is standing strongly by official, positioning by our leader, who has put him there to officially carry out the assignment until he's out. The reason why you see people fighting him, fighting the autopilot IPOB strategy, which is a mood, it is not actually a system, it is not actually a structure. The IPOB autopilot movement is a mood. That mood was activated by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said that we are in the autopilot mood. He said it critically. So it's a mood. It is not a structure. It is not another structure under IPOB. So which means IPOB is still existent the way it is, but it has been put in a mood. What is a mood? A performance gear, or a performance instruction design that has already been designed, a template that has been designed, but now applied at that point in time. It's just like when you have a vehicle. You have the gear one, you have the gear two, you have the reverse, and all of that. When you put it on gear one, it is a mood. You have put it on that gear. You have gear five, you have gear four, you have gear three, you have reverse, and all of that. But you decide to put it on gear one. Gear one is a mood, because you understand that it is what is obtainable at that point in time that needs to get this thing accelerated. So when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was coordinating this stuff, and he put it on the gear of ESN when he created ESN, December 2020. So when ESN came into the picture, it changed the mood. ESN being a gear at that point in time, or a mood at that point in time, became a system that has changed the whole process for another point of acceleration. As soon as that thing was put, the vehicle started going, accelerating so strongly. We had our defense system intact. We had our M branch. We had everything intact, and everything was working strongly. And then suddenly, some people came to disrupt the system. But at that point in time, Chuka Biama has shown Nnamdi Kanu that this time around, from the ESN, you put it on the auto pilot mode, so that it will drive the ESN and other things that need to be driven very quickly and fast. So it was now put in the gear system of pilot, which is a mood right now, which we are in. And that is why you see that the things that are happening right now are so unique and so wonderful, that you begin to wonder, wow, this is great. You begin to wonder, wow, this is important. And you begin to see people now coming all out, and all over the nations of the world, people like us who are now showing our face, and we want to see that this thing is done. We are now coming out strongly, because you know why? The autopilot mood has systematically programmed this whole process for better performance. So when you hear of autopilot, you are actually looking at a mood. It is not a structure designed by Mazi Manepa. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself is the one who is in charge of the system, who is in charge of the structure. He puts that mood, and of course, in that mood, there's somebody who watches over it. So him being away is like the people who were given talents in the Bible. Him being away, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being away for a while, sets somebody, puts the mood in the person's hand. Keep running it until I'm back. So that is why you see Simon Ekpa doing what he's doing right now, uniting because the mood right now involves the unification, or the coordination, bringing everybody together to work. We understand that in this mood, there is no way. See, don't be surprised by seeing people like Asari and all of that bringing their own outfits, like a Bago and all of that. It is normal. Now, let me tell you why it is normal. You don't think that whatever you see, whatever resistance you see, is going to stop our freedom. It's not possible. Now, let me tell you why it is not possible. When God told Moses to go and free Israel, he told Moses, he gave him the tactics, the mood, or the gears that he's going to use. He's going to need 10 gears to be able to free the people. He gave him a template of 10 gears, just like God have given Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the gear and the template of the things that are going to happen until he brings him to the point of autopilot. Now, when Moses went there, do you discover something? When Moses throws the rod to the ground and it changes to snake, the people have the capability also of throwing their own rods And then all that needed to be done is that there need to be a proof of who is superior. So when Moses throw the rod and they throw their rods, it is definitely becoming snake. All of them become snake to everybody. Wow, these people have their power. This one has his power. And so, but what will now happen is that the result or the reaction that comes, or the action, the effect of that action, that first action, of that course, anyways, as I put it now, becomes the most important thing. So when Moses' rod becomes the snake and the Pharaoh magicians have their rods becoming snakes, all that needed to prove what is different and the most superior is that Moses' rod have to swallow each of those snakes and still remain strong and firm and as not deformed or as not destroyed and not even affected, but still remaining in that form of ideology, still remaining in the light of what it is. Now, when Moses' rod swallowed the sticks or the snakes of Pharaoh's people, do you discover that Moses' rod was still the same? When he picked it up, it was still the same rod. It didn't lose shape, it didn't lose form, it didn't lose anything. You know why? The strategy, the power, the approach cannot lose its form because of the running surrounds of these evil people. So let's bring it to IPOB. You see all this Ebubago, all this Nigerian military, all these people who are coming around, all they are doing, Asari coming with their own security outfit, all these enemies coming with their own gunmen, those ones who are evil coming around with their whole attitudes and actions because they have seen ESN. Do you know something? ESN is going to swallow them up and still remain strong and as it is, the way Mazin Nnamdi Kanu has formed it. The same way Moses' rod swallowed all the snakes of these evil people. After swallowing the snakes of these evil people, when Moses picked the rod was still the same way, the same size, the same structure, and the same everything. It still remained the same way it is. That means the capability of the rod is not deformed, it is not altered. The originality of the rod was not altered. That means there's nothing Ebubago and all of that will do that will alter the strength of ESN, that will alter the strength of autopilot mode that we're in. There's nothing they can do that can alter the ability of what we're doing. There's nothing they can do that can stop what we're doing. There's nothing they can do that can affect what we're doing. So just understand this critically, that everything you are seeing, all the selling out, all the, castigations, all the evils, all the attacks here and there against Simon Ekpa. I saw one, they came now, they have started their strategy of an anonymous. They said Anonymous said Simon Ekpa will be arrested soon. They have documents and they have evidences. Look at stupid people, foolish people. You have evidences all this while Simon Ekpa have been saying, bring your evidences, let's see. Bring your evidences against me. And all people keep doing is circumnavigate around frivolities, around trifles, not being able to prove anything. And then now you say you have enough evidence to present to a government. You couldn't present evidences all this while. Sorry, he was busy doing what he was doing, arranging the people, bringing people together and all of that. And suddenly now you have evidences. As foolish as they are anyways, they said they have evidences, which means that saying that Simon Ekpa is sponsoring killing of the people, sponsoring terrorism in the land, sponsoring destruction of the land, sponsoring, the killing of, Biafrans and all of that. And he's being sponsored by the Nigerian government to do all of that. And now they are saying that they also want to deport him. They have evidence they're going to deport him back to that land, which he is being sponsored by. The same people want to deport him again to that. You see, these things are very, very funny. And that is why you see when people are in error, every action they take, even when they are wise, just like Ahithophel in the Bible. You know what David prayed? He said, let his counsel be foolish. As soon as Ahithophel lost the track, his counsel became a foolish one. That is why you see that everything that these people keep doing keeps backfiring. Just watch it. See what everything that Mazi Simon Ekpa is doing. Sorry, please. See what everything is doing. Consistent. You cannot fault it here or there. It's consistent. But look at all what these people are doing today. Their words, contradicts the other. They are not consistent. That's a proof. That's how you know what is truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. I don't want to make this broadcast so long. I just want to make it brief, and I'm going to come your way again tomorrow and to talk to you so that we can together rub minds and see how we can effectively get ourselves together. But one important thing I want to be doing in my broadcast is not to come and gossip or to talk about this one, what this person said and that, because I know everything they say will not affect anything. It will not affect the fight. It will not change what we are doing. It will not change. It will not stop no election in Biafra land. It will not stop the sit at home. It will not stop Mazi Simon Ekpa from going on. It will not stop the autopilot from gaining strength and doing what they have to do. Everything, every attack and everything will not stop anything. So why come on air and begin to make videos of who said this and who said that? I don't have that time. What I need to do, what I've come to do, is to see how I'm going to encourage you to see better, to help our people. That is the essence of my videos. I don't come to gossip because I don't have time for gossip. Gossip is for those who don't even know what they are doing. That's why you see that they hop from one position to the other, from one platform to the other, like frogs. You know, frogs. You know what I was trying to explain when I called them frogs. I was trying to tell people not to call them rats again, because rats can run into the wardrobe, destroy books, destroy documents, destroy important factors, destroy things that are important. They destroy, and of course, which means that they have the capability of causing harm. They have the capability of obstructing what you're doing. If they destroy your certificate, for instance, you have to struggle and to do other things to get it back. It affects you. But these ones now, these people coming all around, all over the social media, when they see your post, they rush there to try to tell you about DOS and try to abuse you and tell you that they're coming to kill you. They are frogs. You know why they are frogs? As frogs just hop. What frogs do is that they jump from one place to the other, jump into the bush, jump into the water, stay there, and make irritating noise. And they don't have the capability of destroying anything. They don't have the capability of doing anything. They just keep making a noise. When you hear the noise of a frog, you just get irritated. Wow, wow, wow. You just keep hearing the noise and running. That is the same thing they do. They come to your post. They come, when they see your post, they jump into it like a frog and make noise. They don't cause any harm. They see another post, they jump into it, they make noise. They don't cause any harm, because everything they do does not actually affect the system. It doesn't affect the autopilot mode. It doesn't affect the structure. It doesn't affect the actions. Now, one other thing I'm going to come to talk about one of these days is the issue of structure, control, and talking about the structure. People, the argument about structure. See, when people are illiterates, they keep talking rubbish. They talk about structure, command and control. I'll try to explain to Biafrans to understand what it really means, because people need to know all these things in light of what they are truly. You understand? So my program and broadcast will always be to see how I'm going to be educating Biafrans, to educate those ones who need to know it, and to pass messages that are important, and also to get people to understand the facts and the things that they need to know, so that together we can get to our freedom. The most important thing is that we have the key in our hands. No election in Biafra land. Sit at home when it is called. Whenever it is called, whether by mega rallies or whatever means of the election, we are sitting at home and at the same time being vigilant and watchful, because the days are evil. They'll be attacking from every corner. They'll be coming for you anywhere. So you have to be careful, especially our young men and our young ladies. You have to be very careful. Our elderly too should be careful. Advise your children very well. Keep secrets. Hide those who are fighting for your freedom. Try to secure them rather than exposing them because they give you 1 naira, they give you 2 naira, they promise you anything. They promise you a car, they promise you a house. Let me tell you something. That house that they promise you and that car they promise you and all of that, Fulani will take them back as soon as they overrun your village, as soon as they overrun you. So if you're allowing yourself to be sold out, you're only giving yourself that, you're only postponing doomsday, because they will still come to take that from you. When they give you, they take it back from you. Let me give you an example. See all these politicians who they clamor for governorship, they clamor for being senators and all of that. As soon as they finish their tenure, the Fulanis come after them. They begin to program, they begin to all of that and all of that, because they know that they have built them to a point where they are strong, and by their strength, they may be able to spoil their structure and their system and sponsor something against them. So what they do is they take back everything they have given to them. They make them powerless. That's what they want to do. The same way also, when they promise you this, for you to sell your brother, for you to sell your, because they know we are cheap, we are very cheap, we like money, we are hungry, so we need to sell something, we need to sell somebody, we need to castigate somebody. So they know all of this, and so what they do is that they give you something, they promise you something, because they know that when they promise you, you want to go by their dictates. But the truth that you should know is that when you take these things they promise you and you begin to enjoy it now, or begin to spend it now, because you have destroyed your brother, they have killed your brother because of you, because you sold the camp of our ESN, or you sold somebody out, or you sold somebody who is genuine out. When you do that, the thing that happens is that thing they give to you, they will come back again to take it. When they overrun your community, when they overrun Biafra land, they would actually take that thing from you back. So you will still become their slaves. So don't allow temporal, enjoyment to make you begin to sell people, or begin to make you to sell the system, or make it to begin to sell. I have received, every time I open my phone has a way of, dictating those who are trying to track me, where I am and where my location is and all of that, and all those attacks. Each week, 7 days, in 7 days, I will see over 100, strategies and attacks coming from everywhere. People trying to track where I am. Over 100 in every 7 days. So you can imagine what now some of them would have been, that my number would have been given to somebody, or somebody is somewhere telling them that he may be here, he may be there, and all of that, and they want to track you. What? Why? Maybe they have promised them something, so they want to. Just the other day I posted something on Twitter. You know what? Somebody who calls himself a Catholic priest in that Twitter, what he did was he tagged my stuff and tagged it to the Nigeria military, Nigeria army. He tagged my post to the Nigerian army and tagged it to the Nigeria government. What's his intention? Maybe they have made him a contractor. Once you have something, you find somebody who is dangerous and all of that, just make us know. Don't worry, we'll give you position, we'll support your ministry, we'll do that for you. Anytime you sell your person to the enemy, you are only depreciating your chances of being free. You are only increasing your chances of becoming a slave, because just like they do to politicians, when they use them and they're out, they probe them, they probe them and collect everything from them, so that they don't begin to sponsor anything that will work against them. The same way also, when they give you that bribe to sell anybody who is genuine, they are giving you a bribe that they will take from you later. Either they come to kill you, or when they come to take over your village or something. So get sense, and get sense rightly. We are telling you this day to be careful and make sure that you don't get yourself, into the hands of evil people, and get yourself to become a danger to your freedom. Your freedom is important. If you like, take it seriously. If you like, don't take it seriously. And one thing I want to let you know is this: if you don't take, the truth about it is that whenever there is a need for freedom, those who fight that freedom and those who doubt that freedom scarcely make it. Look at it in the lives of the children of Israel. Those who were fighting, who believed, who were thinking that what is happening is actually endangering their lives. What Moses was doing was endangering their lives. Moses, you should have left us in Egypt to be eating the cucumber, to be eating the things, the onions and the garlic and everything that we're eating, and the bread and all of that, the dough and everything we eat. We were eating and enjoying. Suddenly you have come to disturb us. Suddenly you have come to make us suffer. Suddenly you have come to put us under pressure. They were making Moses feel like getting freedom is not worth it. The same way we have today. And do you know what happened to them then? Every of them who doubted died in the wilderness. They were not able to enter. So there's a way that you lose your life, you lose something important, valuable to you, when you doubt what God wants to do, when you doubt a truth that should be manifested, when you become a saboteur, when you become an evil person. One is either you'll be killed. Two is either you'll be rendered useless. Something will happen to you that will render you may see the land, but you will not enter into it. So we are warning you, those of you who have decided to sell their souls to the devil and to become an enemy to this progress. You are endangering your life. You're endangering your future. And we are telling you to stop it right now. You still have the opportunity to correct your odds, or else you become that reprobate person who has been destined to be killed and to be destroyed. The Bible says that he that is often reproved and hardens his neck shall suddenly be destroyed and without remedy. Paul said something, was talking about it in Romans chapter 1, that they were reproved and all of that. They were reproved and they continuously gave themselves over to evil, to do evil. And when they keep doing this and keep doing this, God now gave them over to a reprobate mind to do things that are not convenient. You're just going to wonder what they do, evil things that doesn't make sense. And then at that point in time, God has already prepared them to be destroyed. So don't think that you are doing it and you're going scot-free. You will be caught, because the spirit that is behind this movement will catch you and you'll be destroyed. So thank you very much for joining me in this broadcast. I'll be coming away together again. I think I'll be coming together again with Pastor Livingstone tomorrow. I don't know whether he'll be able to make it, but I'll reach him and then know whether we'll be, because we were together yesterday and we had our broadcast, and of course it was wonderful, and we are hopeful to have a new time together. And of course, if we have an opportunity to have more people come on so we can discuss. When it's important, we do that. Sometimes I would want to have a private discussion like this so that I can talk more effectively and talk to your minds and lay some important factors to you so that you can know. But anytime we come, in group like this, I always want to raise the questions and then pass the questions around so that we can discuss. So it's important for us to discuss. So thank you so much for being part of it, and please stay safe and secure. God bless you wherever you are. every Biafran wherever you are, and stay strong. God bless you. God bless everyone who is true. God bless everyone who is following this, following this Biafra struggle and liberation stage with all purity and with truth in their heart, and not with evil intentions or evil decisions or desires. God bless you all wherever you are in the world, and please stay safe. Enjoy your weekend, and may you continue to grow and be part of make Chiku Okiabama, make you part of those who is going to see Biafra. In the name of Jesus. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next time.